it's just silliness, man. It's just fans being
But this
crazy
comes
passionate. But I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what it does affect. Like it does come with the territory. It does.
it
I
comes with the
understand that.
title, yeah. Yep.
However, it would be nice if people understood that once again, it actually hurts our community. Again, I don't have to be everybody's favorite, but there has to be some level of respect for the champion. Like when Hadi won, I was like, all right, respect to the champion. That's great. It brings a lot of hope to his country and people around the world. Same when I win, I bring a lot of inspiration, hope to a lot of people, and motivation, and so on. So whoever the champ is, whoever the top guys are, I think there needs to be a level of respect.
I just end up watching Derek's new gym, your YouTube video that you introduced the gym, and I
Yeah.
was floored by it. I mean, you have
Thanks,
every
man.
piece of new tech, like a double, everything double. It looks so spacious. I mean, I've been in new tech gym, and it's 30,000 square feet.
Hmm.
Expect that yours is much smaller, but then when I
Yeah.
looked at it, it looks quite big. How many square feet?
It's like 15,000 square foot.
That's plenty.
So it's
Yeah,
like it's
plenty.
probably like half the size, but yeah, like the thing is, when I started building a gym, like first I didn't think it was going to be this big. I was thinking it was going to be a lot smaller, but we found this great location right here. And it's like centrally located to Clearwater, St. Pete, and Tampa, and it's away from all the other gyms. It's like a really nice area with a bunch of hotels and different things. So it was kind of a no-brainer, but I was like, man, this is a lot of space. I thought, well, not necessarily a bad thing as long as you can like fill it with enough equipment. And instead of just picking a bunch of random stuff, I thought, well, let's double up. So we have even 4 leg extensions. So that way people don't have to wait. Like me, my thing is, why would I want to build a gym that I'm going to train in and then I have to wait on my members? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I don't want that. And I know any of my members aren't going to want that. So we're like, okay, we have a beautiful space. Of course, we want as many people to come as possible, but we also are capping the memberships so that way it doesn't get too full. And that way we can regulate how many people are in here at one time?
What's the cap?
Yeah, what's the cap?
There's no real number right now because like we just opened like a few months ago, like right
Okay.
after the Tampa Pro, like right before the Olympia. And we were thinking like if we can just keep it right around like 300 members or so, like 250, 300 members, and like kind of see how this flows. Like that's what we've been sitting at for the last couple of months. And we're like, okay, this feels good because we get a lot of day passes and week passes and people just wanting to come check it out.
Mm.
So we're like, okay, we could probably increase the memberships now a little bit more and not have any issues. So I think we can increase it quite a bit, but we also just don't want everybody flooding in as a member because you got to think like a lot of the gym is the environment and atmosphere of the people, right? So if you have just a public gym where it's like a free for all, you're going to get kind of like the wrong crowd that doesn't respect the gym, doesn't respect the people in the gym. And like, we just have really, really good members. Like our founding members are awesome, like the local community. And man, I'll tell you what, like people are moving to Tampa literally to train at this gym. It's awesome. It's crazy.
Is this the same gym where Kamal and Andrew trained while for the Olympia?
No, so that gym is actually in downtown Tampa, and that's actually the gym that brought me to Tampa. So that place has a special place in my heart, and
Are we
forever
talking
will
about the
be.
MI40?
Yep, yep, yep. But that's
Okay,
like
okay.
that's probably like 25, 30 minutes like downtown Tampa, whereas I'm closer to the beach.
Uh, so
Yeah.
can you tell the difference? Like, because you Mr. Olympia. I mean, everybody in the gym knows who you are.
Hmm.
And do you feel that if you want to train, you have to pick certain times where there's not too many people in there so you don't have to answer a lot of questions?
Not really, because if I really wanted to, I could just throw my headphones on and just nobody bothers me. But I think, like you said, everybody kind of already knows, like, hey, this is Mr. Olympia's gym. If he's in here training, like, that's his job. Don't bother him. But, like, dude, listen, I fell in love with the gym because of people. Going to the gym with your friends and just like getting to know new people. Like, I enjoy that. That's what keeps the love for being in the gym, like, in it for me. Like it was great that I had this gym for about a year that was private just for me and a couple buddies. But like after a while, I'm kind of like, man, I want more people here, you know?
Mm.
So with it being off season, like I talk to people every day here. Like I'm usually here almost all day, but even during my training session, like if I see somebody that is about to do a big set, like big, you know, let's say hack squat or pendulum squat, and I'm like, man, I want to see this. Like I'll stop and I literally spotted a guy today because I'm like, this is crazy weight, you know. So
Yeah, can you imagine how this person feels saying Mr. Olympia stopped and spotted me or stopped and watched
yeah,
me? You know,
yeah,
those are little things. Those are little things you can make somebody real
yeah,
happy.
Yeah.
yeah,
How
exactly.
many
And you know,
hours?
I'll tell you the craziest thing is like, I just met this kid today, and this kid's been going viral on social media, especially like TikTok, because this kid's like 19 years old and he just like sold all of his stuff and said, screw it, I'm gonna move to Tampa. I'm gonna live out of my van and I'm gonna train at Derek's gym. And I'm like, that's insane. Like, I don't know what to think. Like I probably at 19 would have done something crazy like that too. But I met him today. Yeah, exactly, right? And I'm like, you know what? I met him today. I'm like, let's get a workout in. Let's film it. Like, let's just, you know. So I don't know, man. I think like when we opened this, we were like, look, you don't have to be an Olympian. You don't even have to be an IBB pro, or you don't even have to be a competitor. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a bodybuilder or if you're a power lifter, or even if you just are like Joe Schmo that just wants to come to the gym. They love the gym, right? Like, if you respect yourself, you respect your goals, and you respect other people's goals, and you want to be a part of this, like, you're welcome here, you
Yeah.
know? Because it's good, man, it's good to have a variety of people. You don't want to just have a bunch of meatheads, but at the same time, like, this is a bodybuilding gym too. So, like, it's a good, man, I'll tell you what, like, the last few months has been great. Like, it's been a learning curve. My wife is the one that's really running the show, not me. But we have a really good community here, man. It's really nice.
Are
That's
you going to
awesome.
shut down for hours when you train for the Olympia?
Only when you come here, Jose.
Yeah. No, I know Flex used to shut his gym 12 to 2
No.
every day
No, I don't.
so he
I'm
could
not about
train.
that. No, I mean, we shut down. Like, we don't shut down, but like, we have limited hours for holidays, which is normal, you know. And like, if like our grand opening, you know, that you're coming out to January 17th, we're obviously like, we're not shutting down, but I think with everybody coming, like, Jay Cutler is going to be here, Flex Lewis is going to be here, Eduardo is going to be here. Let's see, Keon, Sean Clarita, like Natalia, myself, like tons of Olympia titles walking around, plus influencers, other Olympians, former legendary athletes, you know, Olympians like yourself, going to be here. I'm sure Milos will want to pop in, and Dennis might want to come too, maybe.
Hell yeah. I have
Yeah,
family in Tampa.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. I'd love for you guys to come out, man.
well,
So
Derek,
Absolutely.
I would definitely come visit you one day. I would love to. But January 17th is my birthday, and I had something.
no way.
Yeah.
Is it
Oh,
really?
it's
Yeah.
it's January 17th.
Yeah.
So Milos, we spoiled the surprise, brother. It was actually your birthday party. We were gonna throw it. See?
So,
Yeah.
I might reconsider and tell
Yeah.
everybody
What
just go
plans
to
do you
my.
have for your birthday, Milos?
Some people are coming.
Well, take
Yes,
everybody to Tampa. So let's go on a Tampa trip.
That's
Hey, you can be
Well,
in the gym during the day and you can be at the dollhouse at night.
yeah. It's not UFC weekend, so it's still possibility, right? Uh,
yeah.
UFC starts next week. But Derek, first I do want to tell you that I really enjoy all these videos. I listened to also when you explain about your anxiety and panic attacks because I was actually approached lately, with some people about how about panic attacks in bodybuilding, and I said I'm not really aware of, but then I realized there is more than actually I know of. And you were just brushing a little bit, you couldn't recognize what was that backstage, and it happened to you. And it happened at the day that you won the goddamn Mr. Olympia. So for all the people that are fighting those panic attacks, okay, breathe out and realize that Derek, on the day that he get the panic attack, won Mr. Olympia. It's whatever they gave you that advice, you pull it through.
I have a question regarding this because, you know, I mentioned that before that I experienced a few episodes. I'm not sure. The doctors told me it was anxiety. So what's the difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack? Is there a
Well,
difference or is it the same thing?
well, I mean, my experience, like, first of all, I had no idea what was going on. Like, I had this like flush feeling down the back of my neck, like, I don't know, just something. I'm like, oh man, like, what's going on here, you know? And then
Mm.
just I started breathing, and my breathing felt like slow, and I'm just like, okay, like, what's happening here, you know? And
Mm.
because like I've had anxiety in the past, you know, and that's one thing, but this felt totally different, and I'm just like, just I just kind of started spiraling in my head, like, what's going on here? And I started thinking about my wife and my daughter that was in the crowd, and like, oh my gosh. And it got to the point where like I was so like startled that I was just like, I just want to go back to the hotel room. Like,
Mm.
I don't want to be here. And this is like finals, right? And like I had a pretty good idea that like I was gonna win, you know. I felt like I was gonna win the title, and I felt like all I really had to do was just go out there and pose a little bit more and pretty much just do like the pose down and then receive our awards. And I was literally like, I don't know how I can even go out there. I just feel so weird right now. And I knew I was in my head, but I was like, what if? Like, what if it's all this what if in your mind, you know? And the EMT that's backstage, because they always have like EMTs in case something really is going wrong. She was checking all my vitals. She's like, blood pressure, blood glucose, everything. She's like, you're fine. Like, you're good. Like, she wasn't like brushing it off, like to make the panic attack worse, but she's like, you know, you're fine. Your vitals are fine. And I flat out asked her, I literally flat out asked her, I said, do you think this is physical or do you think this is just more in my head? And she looked at me and she goes, I think it's more in your head.
Yeah.
And it's a relief, but also then like, okay, now people notice like something was going on wrong with Derek. Like, what was it? And then like I don't have to tell everybody everything, but in some regard, I felt like this was my obligation to explain what happened. So honestly, man, it was kind of embarrassing to admit because I'm someone that's like all year, I'm like, I'm resilient, I'm mentally strong, like I can keep going, like, you know, like I never believed really much in panic attacks. I always kind of thought it was just like, you got to be stronger minded than that. And then I realized, like, oh, shoot, like, yeah, I had that too. Like,
Yeah.
and so for whenever, you know, whenever we're going through something like that, especially like you said earlier, like I'm Mr. Olympia. So like now, you know, you have a larger voice. Like I want to use this platform to like help people. And I want to obviously inspire and motivate people, but like also, dude, like I'm just a regular person like anybody else. Like, am I living an extraordinary life and a dream for many? Absolutely. But I'm human, dude. I'm just like everybody else in emotional sense, physical sense, all that, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad you said this because I realized the same. I drove myself to the hospital thinking I'm fucking dying. Literally, I woke up in the middle of the night. My heart was going irregular. I
Yeah.
thought I was flushing. I
Yep.
felt my heart pump in my throat. I thought this is it. I drove
Yeah.
myself to the emergency room and I told them, I said, I'm fucking dying.
Yeah.
And they put me down. They did an EKG and they tested me and they said, listen, this anxiety. I said, anxiety? I don't have anxiety. I said, I never in my life. I know my brother dealt with this for a while, and he was a captain. He's a captain, still a captain for Lufthansa. He had severe panic attacks, you know, and I never
Mhm.
understood how the hell can you just catch a panic attack out of nowhere? It's like you're chilling and you catch that shit. I always feel that shit when I'm alone and when I'm peaceful and quiet. When you're
Mhm.
busy doing things, it doesn't bother me at all. The second time went before the Olympia. I went again into the hospital because I think I'm dying. And they told me the same thing. Same hospital. I said, you again, you again.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I'm at an age where I think, shit, when my fart fucking smells wrong, I'm going to the hospital. I don't care what nobody says. I'm checking
Like,
in because I want to know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And that's why I
Yeah,
understand you, because you can literally be in your head and tell yourself, fuck, I'm dying. And like you
yeah,
just mentioned, you said your wife and your kid is out there. I'm thinking, shit, if your parents
yeah,
are somewhere else, they wouldn't even know you fucking dying right now. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah. Well,
it's
man, I
real.
hate it's real, man, and I hate that you've dealt with that, but also at the same time, like I'm glad that we could talk about it and that you're open with, telling the whole world that because I'm
Yeah,
not gonna name names, but once I started talking more about it, like people started coming out of the woodworks and be like, hey, me too. And like I've had people say the same, I'm not gonna name names, but people that we know in our industry that are well respected, like said, I went to the hospital one day. They told me it was a panic attack. And so, just same story you told me, I've heard
yeah,
from like very respectable people in our industry, which I would never put that out there. But it's kind of a nice feeling in a way to know, like, hey, like I'm not the only one dealing with it, and it's
yeah,
not something at all to be embarrassed about. It happens, man. It is what it is.
yeah, yeah. And it's probably with age, it's probably
Yeah.
even worse because you think, like, yeah, listen, I'm in my last fucking phase, so maybe it's coming.
Maybe this is it, you know?
Bro, I thought that a couple of times. I was like, this is it, man. Because my
Yeah.
heart was pumping so hard, you could see. The whole face, everything was throbbing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm dying fucking miserably right here.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
but now
scary, man,
I
because
think
it's
the same.
like, because you like don't even know. You're like, okay, but like I said, it's always this what if something else is actually going wrong, and then you're like, okay, just get it out of your mind. Like you're
Yeah,
just in your head, you need to get out of your head, and you're like, but now how do I get out of my head? Because it
yeah.
just keeps, it's just like this
I
circle,
just
this loop back around.
I asked my brother because he had it so bad. I can tell you guys the story. He's a captain, right?
Yeah.
And he flies commercial flights. He had it one time coming on while he was taking off.
Oh,
Mm,
He literally turned that plane around and landed it.
oh my
that's
God.
crazy. I mean, I
So,
believe it,
so,
man.
yeah.
Like I
So
said, like literally.
he went through a phase where he had to go through tests and everything, and he's at a point, and I asked him, I said, because I never understood, because he told me, and I never understood how. And then I asked him questions, and I said, listen, man, I think he told me all the symptoms, from the beginning to the end. He said, yeah, now I'm at a point where if I feel it, I said, fuck it. I'm not dying, so fuck it. That's it.
That's awesome.
And that's how you get rid of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Pretty
wouldn't be,
much
I
just
would,
because I'll say this, man, like I've experienced like the onset of panic attacks quite a bit since then. Cause like now I'm aware. Like I'm like, oh, okay, I know what this is and I know what it leads to in your mind.
yeah,
And so I felt the onset of it, quite a few times since the Olympia. And every time it was kind of like what you said, it's just like, all right, this
yeah,
isn't real. This is same. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on,
yeah.
man. Like, get it together. And so
Don't let it get to
just
you.
with that, then I just try to ignore it and just move on. You
Yeah,
know.
don't let it get to you. Derek, I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to back you up on something because I saw you got a lot of flack for making that video while you're in the car, because people accuse you of PMMA or PSMMA or what the fuck. Anyways, and you said a
None of us
thing,
know. None of us
and
know
yeah,
what
and you
they,
said, listen, I don't even know what this is.
none of
And
us
I
do.
don't understand how someone can not believe you in this case because we are all experts, right? Considered experts. If we are experts, we don't know, but we have been in this game for a long, long time. I don't know what it is.
That's what we
Still,
said. We all said
yeah,
it. Like, I don't know what it
so
is.
I don't understand why people all of a sudden, just because now we know PMMA still doesn't mean that we know what the fuck it is and what what it will do to you. You know what I mean? So to all the experts out there that accuse people of not knowing or call people a liar, explain to us what it is. So in the future, we don't have to say we don't know.
He doesn't know.
Huh?
People have been asking me lately about peptides, and I have a
Mhm.
lot of people approaching me. It's like, hey, you want to work with us? We're a peptide company, and I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, like, unless it's like for recovery, like if like an injury or something, for example, like the pec tear, like I don't dabble in peptides either. So people have been asking me every day, pretty much here in the gym, hey, what do you think about peptides? What do you think about this? I'm like, I wish I had the information. I probably should study up on it, but I don't know. Like I don't. And that's something that a lot of people I know are using. So it's like, is it a crime to not know something? I mean, I don't think it is, but I don't know, man. Like, for me, it's what's unfortunate. The reason I addressed it, because normally I just leave this kind of stuff alone. The reason I addressed it was because I don't want young people that are 18, 19, 20 years old that are aspiring bodybuilders who say like, I want to be the next Mr. Olympia, like I don't want these guys to be thinking like this is what you have to do. Now, do the guys I compete with do stuff like that? I don't know. I would like to think no, but maybe there's some that do. I really find it like I really don't know like when there's accusations like, oh, most of the guys are using it. I really don't think so. Like I could be wrong. Maybe I'm naive because I know what I've done and what I've not done. But I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that to win an Olympia. Like some people may choose to do it, and that's up to them, right? Milos, you said that you did something before. And you said it was the worst decision in your life. I
The
listened
worst.
to this. I listened to that kind of thing. The guys that came before me, and I'm like, oh, that's something that I don't want to do. And that was a choice that I made from the beginning of my bodybuilding. Was like my bodybuilding journey. I was like, I just don't want to do that because a lot of the guys that came before me said not a good idea. So that was just my choice. And
Do we
yeah,
know any, Jose, maybe because you get around too. Do we know any person, any bodybuilder who openly used synthol? PMMA, I don't think was around because nobody spoke about it. So let's synthol or side enhancement. Do
I
we
think
know anybody
Dave was
that?
one of the only ones that
No, no,
admitted
no,
to
no,
it.
no. I'm not finished asking the question. Do we know anybody who used it openly and said it was a good thing to do? Or did they all regret using it?
I'm not sure. I know Palumbo used it, and he
Well,
promoted
I'm
it.
sure I'm sure he regretted it.
He might, yeah. But I don't know if I've ever heard him say that.
Yeah, but I
Did he
shit, I
regret
got
it?
one picture of Palumbo doing the front double bicep sweat. If he doesn't regret doing that shit in his arms back then,
Yeah.
he's not real. But I think Palumbo is the real one. I'm sure he regrets doing that shit too.
Well, that single-handedly ended my career. I mean, this is how bad it is. I swear to God. If I didn't do this and destroy my arms, I would probably continue. But this is you sell your soul to the devil because somebody else is doing it. So I'm gonna do it too. And next thing you know, you ruin it. But here it is to answer also to Derek. Like, how little do we know? I'm a coach. Many people approach me every time, ask me about this. I haven't found one person that told me they're doing it or they know anybody doing it. I just learned now when people talk, oh, Rich Piana has, okay, well, the Rich Piana was a freak doing it. I never knew what he does, but I don't think it's prevalent at all in the
Mhm.
IBB. And those haters and assholes, they're just gonna jump on it. He must be. Come on. So Synthol, yes, surprisingly, there was much more people actually that I even know, and I'm very loud about it.
Synthol is also something that was in the past. I don't
Yeah,
think synthol is
I don't think
anywhere in the
it's
sport
being
at
used. No,
this
no, no.
time, unless it's meatheads. They don't even compete. They just want to be on social media and show
Yeah,
up with those huge arms and huge pecs, and they're all
yeah.
dying left and right. As you probably all see that some of these Insta famous synthol guys, they're all dying left and right.
yeah. One thing that I was impressed with you, Derek, also you in a car, you said if you would have to address every single comment from every single person, and be defensive, where would you go and what are you going to accomplish? So on that note, because both Dennis and I were called the Derek haters, before, just by not maybe seeing you a winner, and you just must understand if we don't put you as a winner, that doesn't mean we don't think super highly of your physique because there's so many people that can win that show, and maybe we prefer somebody else. So on that note, but
Well, real quick, Milos,
yeah,
what did I tell you tanning at the
yes,
Olympia this year?
yes.
That I think that was a productive conversation. Was
The
it?
best. I was gonna get to that, and I think I told Dennis. I don't know if Jose.
You did. You told us about it
You
at the on the podcast at the Olympia.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I want to now
You
address
said
it a little bit
Derek
more
looks
because,
unbelievable.
but no, let me put it this way. Derek is a gentleman all the way through. 3, 4, 5 years ago, I was calling him a baby muscles, and then he came up to me at the Dragon's Lair, and he was super cool. Again, I have no filter, and sometimes I use the terms that could be insulting. So on that note, this time Derek pulled me aside. It says, "Look, Milosh, I really would like you, but you're making impossible." You know, and that struck me right away, right? Because here is the greatest gentleman. He's nothing but nice. I haven't seen a single example that he did something that I didn't like, and now he's referring to me. And then he walked away, and then he called me and said, "Okay, he's going to pose for me." And the moment when he posed there, Derek,
Got
I
you. He
said that
got
in the
you.
podcast.
He got you. As soon as he took his
But
clothes off,
listen,
he got you.
no, here I am. Listen, I'm watching the physique that I didn't think can win Mr. Olympia. I really didn't think so because I would maybe favor Samson and Hadi, and I didn't think that he could. And right there, it's like, holy shit, yeah, this is going to be super hard to beat. And then I look at those goddamn legs, and I'm a leg guy. My best body part, I think, besides abs, were legs. And we were seeing Derek at the first Pittsburgh guest posing when he had those crazy legs, and then he lose them, and then again crazy legs and lose them. And I just didn't expect that he's going to bring them on stage. Not just that he brought them, but I think this is the major part of your victory. And this is why I want to dig a little bit deeper. I heard you today saying that your most favorite machine is exactly the same most favorite machine for me that I speak very loudly. Newtech hack press. There is nothing like that.
It's the best. I use it pretty much every quad day. I guarantee you, I said it. Was it in the video that I posted with the tour? I said that that's
Yeah.
probably what built my legs, probably more than any other machine this year or exercise.
And I see you do super heavy, full range,
Hmm.
and all that stuff. No pressure on your spine, no pressure on your back, and all this stuff. And you put everything in the quads.
Hmm.
I think that this was most remarkable difference in any muscle group, especially for legs. Legs, guys don't just come up 6 months later and have legs, you know. So you did it, and I take
Thank
my
you.
hat off to you. And I would just say, how people are going to be. Oh, now Milos and Dennis is
Wait a minute.
kissing
I
your
didn't say
ass,
shit yet.
right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no. I already predict
Uh,
what is going to be in the comments. We have a Derek here, and now we're going to kiss his ass and all that stuff, and then behind his back. I would never ever really think again that you cannot win every show that you ever enter, even though I might have some favorite physiques, and in comparison, oh, it's going to be hard to beat. But you were the biggest guy on stage, pound for pound. You were the thickest and biggest. Improvements that you made in most of the poses, side chest, side triceps, for example, that I didn't see you being competitive before. Now I actually, in side chest, I saw you winning at Olympia for sure. Side triceps, so and so. Back double biceps, you were talking last time. I don't know if you've seen the podcast. That picture of back double biceps comparing you to 5 other guys. I say, here you definitely smoked everybody, you know, on that one. But then I say, in reality, in person, 2022, you shocked the world at the first Olympia when you walk on the stage, did your front relax. There was, as you said, silence. People were just like, holy shit. Frontal biceps still same V taper. And you turn around and that back double biceps was spectacular. But I told Dennis last time, 2023, your back double biceps was absolutely shocking and stunning. And I could call it the best of all time. Now, of
wow.
course, now they're saying, oh, you said about Andrew Jack front lat spread best of all time. Yeah. If you really pick and analyze everything is the first impact of a pose, of an X frame and a V taper and a detail and a width, yeah.
Well, I got to stop you right there. I got to stop you right
Well,
there.
one more thing, and then I'm gonna stop. One more
Okay,
thing.
okay.
They're gonna
I
say,
hope I don't forget what I wanted to say just now.
yeah. That's yeah. With the age, it comes with age. I usually forget if I don't say it, I forget. Uh, there was you know double biceps. With biceps speaking of Ronnie Coleman and just like whole fucking legs and all that stuff. Made me say in the last show that I would still give it to him. But I think that your back double biceps is just out of this world, and I commend you for it. That's it.
Okay, so now let me
Thanks,
say
man.
this. He did say that your back is the best of all time, like Andrew's front lat spread. But 2 minutes later, we did top 5 best back double biceps of all time, and he had you in 4th or 5th place.
Oh
So,
my. See,
so
this is how Milos is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's because
yeah.
I'm on the
This is
podcast.
this
You
is
know,
Milos, and I've been
I'm
trying to like
kidding,
Milos.
Milos.
Derek, like you, I've been trying to like Milos for 30 years now.
No.
It's
No, so I said this to Jose on the phone last night. I said, after talking with Milos at tanning at the Olympia this year, I think it was a really productive conversation because, you know, I don't know that it was intentional or malicious in any
never, never.
way, but like sometimes when we're analyzing physiques, right? Like us as bodybuilders, right? We always look at the flaws. We're like, where can we get better, right? Whereas, the people that are watching the podcast who look up to you, Dennis, and you, Milos, you, Jose, like look up to all of us, it's the fans of bodybuilding. So the words that we speak have power, right? And we have a large audience. And it's like when we're constantly pointing out this guy needs to get better here, he's lacking this, it starts to kind of chop down the physique like, oh, well, then why do all these physiques suck? Why is bodybuilding, going this direction and not up? It's like, well, that's not true. It's just kind of like it's like kind of the narrative that's being picked up. When in reality, he just said that me and Andrew have two of the best shots maybe ever. Again, that's totally opinion, right?
Right, right,
But
right, right, right.
that was the conversation that he and I had. And I said, like, what if you just started highlighting the positives and started saying, like, wow, this is crazy and that's crazy, instead of like, kind of chopping down. I said, look at how we grow the sport there, and it really like changed the perspective because we have a lot of people nowadays who have a voice, not just us, but a lot of people. And there's some that are building up our community and some that are tearing it down. And if we truly love bodybuilding and we're truly fans of bodybuilding, then we're gonna want to see it build and grow, and we're gonna shine a positive light on it. So I think we can identify the people that maybe are constantly kind of tearing down. And I think some of them might have the intention to do so, but we see the ones that are constantly tearing down. To me, I don't believe those people are actually a part of our community. I believe those are the enemy, the outsiders that are actually trying to tear down what we all love and what we're trying to
Right.
build.
Yeah. And they're out there. Absolutely. They are out there,
Yeah.
But bodybuilding is still for us, we talk about the sport of bodybuilding. Listen, back then we didn't have social media. There was no podcast. There was no chance to talk about physiques unless you do it in the magazines and writing. Well, since we're at that point, I'd like to say you too can unlock your full potential with the cutting edge lineup from High-Tech Pharmaceuticals. All you have to do is just follow them on IG and Facebook. Visit High-Tech Pharma for a deep dive into their science-backed formulas that will power your performance, strength, and also bring you some of the best results.
Fuel your grind with the science of results. High-Tech Pharmaceuticals brings power, performance, and precision to every product. Elevate your fitness. Visit hightechpharma.com today. Backed by science. Built for strength.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Get
it's
me
a bit
back down.
different. So, and it wouldn't have never been any different in the 90s if there was social media. We would be able to talk about people, accuse people, and this is just the way it is. That's life. you know, and my podcast is called Keeping It Real, and we do get a lot of flack for saying things, and sometimes people think we don't keep it real. We don't always agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? And getting back to Milos, because you said Milos, you know, he's a straight shooter too. That's a
Yeah.
European thing I get. Because I was born and raised in Germany, we say what we feel, and we don't expect you to get pissed off.
So
Because
and that was the
that's
other,
how-
that was, yeah, of course, that was the other point that I was saying to Jose last night. I said, you know, since the Olympia, I feel like Milos has completely, like, I don't want to say changed, but like he's highlighting all the positive stuff that we have in our sport now. And it's so nice to see, you know? And so, yeah,
But he's been doing this. He's been doing this all his life. I mean,
right.
I know him for a long time, and I'll tell you this. Yes, he says things sometimes, and sometimes he regrets saying it the way he is saying them.
Yeah.
Because you can put him in different words, but
Yeah.
he's not from America, so he's different, you
Yeah.
know. But I guarantee
And it was,
he
yeah, it
has
was,
the biggest heart you will ever find on a human being when it comes to whatever it is you need. I don't think
I
he will
know.
ever charge anybody for any information that you can't get out of other people. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
for
that's
that,
why I said, like, I
I
love
let
talking to
him
him.
run with everything he wants to do. If he wants to say something the way he wants to say it, if I don't like what he says, I'll just let him go because I know tomorrow is another day. That's who he is. He could be pissed. He gets pissed off so fucking easy. You can trigger him so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. The people in the comments know it. Because listen,
He's
go to the
passionate.
comments just one time. The only one responding is this guy right there.
Yeah.
This guy.
No, that's the thing.
right.
That's what you have to love about Milos is his true passion. And that's what I was getting at. There's a difference between somebody who is like intentionally in our community to tear us down, and then somebody who's just passionate and wants to just say what they think. And so
He
that's
does
what you have
talk a
to
lot of shit, though. He does talk a lot of shit. He put his foot in his mouth many times. It happens. It happens.
Yeah. But no, what I love though is like we agree though. We agree that you don't have to like I was posing for him and he's like, "Oh shoot, like I might have to change my predictions." And I said, "Hey, I don't have to be the guy you put in first, man. That's the thing. I understand that. I don't have to be everybody's favorite." I said, but if we're all in this together to uplift each other, you can say that you like somebody else's physique better. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. And I think that that's where we draw the line, and we have that respect and we have that conversation in our community, because it does make it exciting, right? Because of the passion that we have for the sport. Look at this guy doing a photo shoot during the
Testing. Yeah, but I do want to tell you this, Derek, because now we're talking. I might like somebody else's physique better, but when it comes to judging, I could see how you can win.
right.
And this is at that moment when I looked at you, like, Jesus Christ, I compared to anybody else and I know what can happen.
Yeah.
And I saw you potentially winning. And then after the prejudging, all three of us, saw you winning. No,
Yeah.
Jose, you had Andrew Jack.
Yeah, Jose had Andrew winning.
Come on, man.
We go.
I said I could see it happen. I could see it happening.
Hey, don't change it now.
Come on,
Don't change
man.
it.
Yeah.
No. But anyways, listen.
And I sat with your wife in prejudging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask her what I said.
No, she told me. I was watching the both of you from the stage, and every time I would hit a pose, my wife would stand up and like yell.
Oh, she was nuts. I was going to bring her up when you were talking about panic attacks.
Yeah.
She had about
listen,
a dozen of them.
Guys, the good thing is that, Derek, you matured a lot, which means, listen, people can say whatever they want to say. You got the fucking title at the house. So who gives a fuck what they say? They can shoot you down 10 times, 3 times. They can break down your physique. It doesn't really matter, because not only do you have a standout, you got 2 standouts in your house. You got the 212. At the end of the day, everything else, your what you call it, accolades, they speak for themselves. You know what I mean? It's always the one on top that gets the most heat. Ask Phil Heath how much shit he had to go through. Every year after year when he lost, people start, because this is how it is. When somebody wins, a couple of times, people just can't wait to see him fucking lose. I don't know why this is in our nature. This is just human beings they just want to see someone else beat that person and be on top. It's just normal. And you got to have a thick skin. I remember me when MySpace came around. You remember that, guys? Derek might not, but you guys might
No,
remember.
we all had a
MySpace.
MySpace. We all
Oh,
had
you
my.
had one? So MySpace was the first thing. I remember I was living here in Thailand, and I remember in the very beginning, people stopped when somebody said something negative, man. I'm trying to look at the fucking profile, trying to find out where the person lives.
No, man, I
Simple.
have to admit, man, you know, like I'm human just like anybody else is. So like
Yeah.
when you're seeing it piling on, it's like, come on, guys, you know, I'm doing my best to put my best foot forward. I want to build our community. Of course, I want to win, you know. But at the same time, it's like sometimes I see some of these comments and it's just all down my comment section, and I'm like, I don't think these are real people. I actually think some of them are
Those are
spam.
real haters, bro. They're
No, no, no,
real.
no. I really mean it. Like, I think some of them are just spam accounts.
Oh, some of them, yeah. They're
Yeah,
just
and
trying to just,
there's
yeah.
some that, yeah, are real people, but I'm just like, a lot of these are spam accounts. And so there's that. Plus, it's just like, you know, it's just silliness, man. It's just fans being
But this
crazy
comes,
passionate. But I'll tell you what, man, I'll tell you what it does affect. Like, it does come with the territory. It does.
it
I
comes with the
understand that.
title, yeah. Yeah.
However, it would be nice if people understood that once again, it actually hurts our community. Again, I don't have to be everybody's favorite, but there has to be some level of respect for the champion. Like when Hadi won, I was like, all right, respect to the champion. That's great. It brings a lot of hope to his country and people around the world. Same when I win, I bring a lot of inspiration, hope to a lot of people, and motivation, you know, and so on. So whoever the champ is, whoever the top guys are, I think there needs to be a level of respect, because when there's so much negativity in our sport, outside businessmen, companies may look at this and they say, that's a lot of negativity in that industry. Like, I see a lot of value. I see where it can bring us a lot of dollars, but is it really worth getting into this industry? You know, do we really want to go down this road, because it could affect our mainstream business? I've seen this happen. You know, there's a lot of great companies that do incredibly well in the sport of bodybuilding, but if we want to build our community in bodybuilding, we need more people to want to support. And listen, one of the first people that messaged me after I won this year was Shaquille O'Neal. He was like, "Hey man, you look perfect. You look crazy." Like, I have the messages. So there's that. There's Mark Wahlberg. There's tons, like Sylvester Stallone. There's, Arnold himself. There's so many people that are mainstream celebrities, businessmen, whatever. They love bodybuilding. I've heard Patrick Bet David talk about bodybuilding and brought Chris Bumstead on. It's like, and he messaged me too when I won a couple years ago. So there's people all around the world that love and respect bodybuilding. And I think that, if, like I said, if we could argue and be passionate in the right way without tearing down the athletes, then I think our sport can bring a lot more dollars. And guess what? Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Dude, 99% of the people that are shit talking, we're not there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everyone that I know that was there,
You will never change
it's like,
that.
yeah, I could see that.
If you don't have people hate on you,
Yeah.
that tells you that you doing it, something's wrong. You're not doing it the right way. You're not having the success, because those people, they are triggered by your success, and they just hate, and they still follow you. So that's, at the end of the day.
I actually we had one person, well, maybe a couple people, that actually was really being ruthless in their comments. And they went as far as DMing my wife and apologizing, saying that they took it too far. They're really sorry. They apologized. It's like, I don't know. It's just silly. It's like the Wild Wild West out there, man.
Yeah.
True definition of a hater is jealous fan. This is what
Yeah.
jealous fan. They're fans of you, but then the jealousy gets in and they start hating. But I have a question also. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take too much time, but I discussed with Jose the other day about short bodybuilders and tall, and how the judges look, how the audience are looking, and we are thinking that you guys, shorter guys, are disadvantaged. In general, that's people are going to accept that. How did you get that confidence, with the structure and the height that you have, going against this behemoths, Samson and Andrew and all the other guys? I've only seen a confidence like this with Nick Walker. Nick Walker truly, honestly believe he's going to win the Olympia 3 years ago already. And you, I mean, you have a
Mhm.
crazy competition, but you're very confident. Where this comes from? I never.
Listen, honestly, I have a tremendous amount of respect for all my competitors, whether it's the taller guys or the shorter guys. It doesn't matter. Like those top five, top 10 guys at the Olympia are no joke. So I don't take them lightly at all. But I've never worried about the height of somebody that I'm competing against because I know I'm bringing the most complete physique on stage. And so the most balanced and complete physique wins bodybuilding shows. And I know I have really strong shots, especially like my back double bi, my side chest. I think these are very strong shots that I have. And so they're dominating shots, and we have our strengths and our weaknesses, but at the end of the day, like top to bottom, front to back, side to side, I believe I have the most complete physique. Again, when I bring it, I have to bring my best, the conditioning and everything. But I believe that I have the most balanced and complete physique, and that's going to beat anybody, no matter how tall they are.
Yeah, I mean, you became a mass monster. So I don't think that anybody is packing that. Samson did, of course, for a while, putting in so much mass. But you, pound for pound, width and thickness, your chest improved tremendously. Your legs blew up. I was even thinking, people are gonna say again, speak out of your head. Tom Platz. I mean, when you pose for me, yeah,
Yeah.
it is a.
Just playing the background music, Milos. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I'm serious. And by the way, I was showing Jose the other day a picture of you on Instagram showing your legs, but the
Mm,
camera got your abs as well. And I
mm,
think I made a comment. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I
right there,
think so.
you hit your abs most perfectly. And
Mm,
on personal note, that's what I would like to tell you, that you need to get in that kind of position to have the same kind of abs like you had at that shot. And
mhm,
you just don't do it when you do the ab shot. If you do, you have a perfectly symmetrical, deep, you know,
mhm,
abs. So, you know, you improve the side chest, side triceps poses. Whoever was telling you how to manipulate angles, bring the chest up and whatever, they did a hell of a job. I still don't think that you have a ab shot to the muscle that you actually have. Because Jose, you were saying like in most muscular shots, you can have a better abs than an ab shot, right? And
Yeah.
usually it has to be the opposite.
Yeah. You had like an 8 pack.
Yeah, he does.
You would do it, I think it was the hands on hips.
Yeah, I like that shot. I don't. The judges recommended that I hit, a different most muscular, but yeah, we were just discussing in the gym today actually that my hands on hip is a nice shot too. It's clean.
Well,
Okay,
that's when your abs look like that.
Yeah.
another observation. I see you do the cable crossovers. And for example, believe me, if you saw Dennis James do the cable crossovers back in the day in Colosseum Gym, it's ridiculous. And Dennis, you're a master of bringing those fibers, stretch the fiber and then squeeze like a maniac. I actually start seeing that you have the cross striations. I would just still think that you can have that peak contraction at the end a little bit longer, like a couple of seconds, and really look at the mirror and try to bring them on. I think it's happening, but you need to go a little bit longer, in my opinion. That old isotension principle of Joe Weider is squeeze the life out of it. I could see it coming. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So like I said, listen, I'm here to listen because we can all pick up something, right? Like it doesn't matter if I've won a Mr. Olympia or whatever. Like there's always improvements that we need to make. So, you've been doing this much longer than me, and I will take that and I'll take that into my training for sure.
I would want to.
Realistically, in your mind,
Yeah.
I just want to know what's going on in your mind now. You done won your second Olympia, so you won it back, which only happened once, which was Jay Cutler. And in your mind now, what do you tell yourself when you go home to your wife and now she's expecting the second kid?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. I don't know how you
Thank
do
you.
it. You know what I'm saying?
No
But
off days.
yeah, I want to know what is in your mind now, because You're taking some time off, absolutely deserved, because you did 3 shows last year throughout the year. Now, what are you telling? When you sit at home with your wife, what are you guys talking about? I said, I'm going to go for 5, for 6, for 7. What's going on? What's happening there?
Honestly, no, we don't talk about like how long I want to be competing. Like, I mean, I guess I mention it sometimes. I just kind of like I'll talk to her. I'm like, this is what I think. I think I have this game plan of doing this year and this next year. Like, I always kind of have like a 2-year plan. Like last year I had a 2-year plan. Like I wanted to do what I did this year, the Triple Crown, the 3 shows, and then I knew like I was probably going to take a little time off. So I kind of got to the finish line here. Okay, now year 2, we're in it. Well, as I'm going into this year 2 from, the last 2-year, focus, I'm setting myself up for the next 2-year focus. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking 26, 27. Like I want to have that kind of projected in my mind that I know what's happening every like, 2 years, so to speak. So for me, I don't want to put like a number or a limit or an expectation on how long I want to compete, because like I'm 32 years old, so I feel like that's still pretty young in bodybuilding. And like what Milos was saying, he's like, look, you won a couple Olympias, but I can still see how you can improve like in certain areas. It's like, okay, like am I really ready to walk away just because I've won a bunch of titles? And like, yeah, I've spent a long time. I've spent almost a decade competing at the highest level, but like, am I gonna just stop now? Like after developing my physique to this point, I don't intend on it anytime soon. So here's the thing. Listen, I have to just shoot you 100% as straight as I possibly can. And you know me, I'm very outspoken about my faith in Jesus Christ. And I really I want to be obedient to God. Like that's what I've been praying about. That's what I've been talking to my wife about. That's what I've been reading the Bible, trying to discern what it is that God has for me. Because I'm as good with competing for many, many years as I am whatever God has for my life. Like I just want to know that like I'm living my life in obedience to what God has for my life. And when I'm in tune with that, I'm very clear-minded. I'm very certain with what I'm supposed to do. And I can go all in 100% with what it is I believe. And so if I go into these shows like, oh, the paycheck's $750,000 at the Arnold, or man, I want to rack up this many titles, like that reason for me is just not like that can't be my focus, and maybe that's like confusing to some people. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, it is a lot of money. It is, yes, like don't get me wrong, like that is great, but like for me in my life, man, like the way I'm able to focus, the way I was able to do the 3 shows this year and win is only if I can think higher than myself. Like my selfish, I want to have a title, I want to have more money. That's like not good enough for me to want to do something. It's my obedience to the Lord. Like,
all right. Then let me rephrase the question. What's the game plan?
Yeah.
For a repeat in 2026?
All right. So my thought is, and don't hold me to this because it's
I'm
not set in
I'm going to
stone.
be taping this, Derek.
But I've thought about it. I'm like, I don't plan on doing probably anything until the Olympia. I plan on being at the Pittsburgh Pro and at the New York Pro. Maybe like I'll probably do a guest posing at that show. That's my thought right now, is to probably guest pose at the Pittsburgh Pro, and then compete in the Olympia. However, I really enjoyed doing the Arnold Classic this past year, and I could foresee myself doing that show again in the future. And who knows? I don't know what 2027 is going to bring, but I could see myself doing more than just the Olympia in the future.
Okay, so let me ask the question again. What is your game plan for you to do the Olympia in 2026 and repeat to get title number 3? What are you?
Oh, you mean like what am I doing this offseason
training
to
wise?
come
What
back
are you
better?
focusing on? What do you want to improve for this year or for next year?
So yeah, I mean, like definitely focusing on the areas that like Milos mentioned, like right, like people have been talking about arms, chest for the last couple years. Well, I've been improving them year to year after year, right? And so I think focusing on those areas is going to help. Just getting that muscle maturity, the density, and getting better mind muscle connection. So I definitely need to take Milos's advice, get good mind muscle connection, and be able to really stimulate the muscle that I'm trying to improve, and not necessarily put so much focus on like my back as much, and focus on more of the areas that I definitely can improve. So I think you guys know, like I said, I'm 32 years old. Year after year, we're gonna keep getting that muscle maturity. Who said it? Milo said I had baby muscle back in the day. And I remember competing against
But
Jose.
do you understand what he meant by saying that? Because people get it the wrong way. Because what he's saying is it's young muscle, and
No,
it's
I
young
was about to
muscle. It's
say
not.
Jose Raymond. He said that I had veal muscle back when I was competing with him.
Yeah.
Jose said, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say what Milos meant when he said baby muscle. Baby muscle
No,
means
I know, and
young
that's why I don't.
muscle
I don't
that
take.
wasn't matured yet.
No, I never took offense to that, because that's not really something that I can like rush. I mean, I can definitely put the reps in and stuff, but that's time, man. And so that's what I think. I think year after year, I'm going to keep getting better. Being 32 years old, keep hammering these body parts that I know are the ones I need to focus on, and that's what I tend to do. I mean, I don't really know how else to answer that other than just I
Yeah.
think we can all identify where I need to improve and what my strong points are, and like I think what I've been doing has been successful. So I think also not reinventing the wheel
Yeah.
is important also. And I really enjoyed working with Chris Aceto this year. That was a good change for me. Jose worked with him, and I think it's been a winning combo. So
Yeah.
again, I don't really know how else to answer it. That's
No.
not
It's
something.
good. I understand. You're still working on improving. But let me go away from what you're doing and what you've been doing. Let's look at the Arnold, and I want to get your perspective as Mr. Olympia that's not doing it, that won it last year. You know the lineup. You know who's in the show. Who do you see winning the Arnold in 2026 and walking away with $750,000? You know every single one on that stage.
Hmm.
So if you had to put your money on one person,
Uh, I'll tell you this. I think the top two are gonna be Hadi and probably Andrew, if I had to guess. Based on, I mean, obviously we're going based off of what we just saw at the Olympia.
mhm,
Um, I see Nick and Martin right there battling it out. I mean, if Nick comes back, I think he can beat Martin. I think Martin looked incredible in Prague, and so there's that right there. But I'm looking at probably Hadi, because I see him probably being the most complete of them all. But then you have Andrew, who's been a fan favorite since the Olympia. So those are the two I see top two.
do you see Nick possibly winning the Arnold?
Mm, If if the other guys are off, yeah, he could win. But you know,
Do they have to
probably
be way off, or do they just have to slightly be off?
Nick has to bring his Pittsburgh look, and those other guys have to be a little bit off, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is something that I said. Say when I said the other guys are off. When I mean off, I mean like they don't have to show up fat. You know what I'm
See, I
saying?
just don't. I don't think Hadi is going to be that far off though. Like, I mean, we've seen slightly off Hadi, but like Hadi's pretty consistent, man. And like I know there's some things people point out, and I'm not going to mention those things. But overall, when we talk about like who wins shows, like the balance and completeness, Hadi has shown that. Now Andrew's been improving a lot the last couple of years. He's had some good showings, some not so good showings, and like I could definitely see him winning too, for sure. Especially him placing third and being a fan favorite. But right behind him, like I said, Nick and Martin. But I really think those other two guys are right now at their best, at what we've seen their best. I see those other two guys pulling ahead, and where those guys land, we'll just have to see, because if Andrew keeps improving and creates better balance, I think that could that's definitely going to help him. And if Hadi's off, but I think right now, I think Hadi's the guy. I think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Who could? I think Hadi and Andrew are the front runners. I think so too. But I still believe Nick, if he would bring the look he had in 21, was it 21? What the Arnold?
Yeah, I think it was 21. Yeah, I think.
If he brings that look,
Or
he had size, but he was ripped. He had a flat stomach. He had no issues whatsoever. I think this is just my personal opinion, okay? I'm not telling Nick you should do that. That's my personal opinion. I think that would be a more competitive look with these guys, with Andrew and and also Martin, because Martin is coming. Martin is not the Martin of 2 years ago. The Martin that's going to be at the Arnold, I believe, will probably be the best Martin we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think that Martin will fare very well next to Hadi and Andrew, even though he's a shorter guy like Hadi is. And I think this is a real battle. Yes, Andrew is the taller guy, and we all think because the hype that he has from the Olympia that he is one of the front runners, but he hasn't been, he hasn't been the most consistent guy in the last 5 years. So
it's the consistency and the balance, right, that I'm kind of going off of. And that's why I said Hadi over Andrew, because I think there needs to be a little bit more consistency, a little bit more balance on that physique. But yeah, I mean, he looks crazy. He's going off a freak factor. He's going off such a wow. I mean, tall guy, he gets in good shape. Like, he has crazy shots, but like overall, top to bottom, front to back, especially the side shots. The side shots is very evident, for me. So, but yeah, like you said, man, like, honestly, man, like, I love doing the Arnold this year, and it was great. Like, I had a great time doing it. Just as a competitor, ran well. And
at any time during the competition, Friday or Saturday, at any time did you think about the $500,000?
Nah. Listen, you cannot ever count that money. You cannot take it to the bank until you have it in your hands, man. Because
I know, but I'm just asking the question because we never thought about the money when we competed. It's about winning the show and getting Arnold to shake your hand and do the interview or whatever before you even think about the money. I think you probably did. Yeah. Most people didn't even know how much they're going to get, at the Arnold.
You can't think about it because that's one of those things that'll trip you up if you do. And so for me, I can't even think of, because it's like, it's not guaranteed. Like, you could think you're winning and then, I didn't
put
win.
a down payment on the house because you think you're paying it off.
Yeah. So I don't want to get my hopes up until it's in the bank. You know what I mean? Like, actually in the bank. So no, man, I never thought about the money ever. Like, I think that'd be great if I could, but I don't, like, that's not my focus ever. Like, I gotta do my job. Like, that's the thing. I gotta do my job if I want to get paid. You know what I mean? I gotta do my job, and that means show up my best, bring the presentation, bring the physique, and hope that I displayed a physique that the judges deemed the best.
Other than the 4 guys we just mentioned, who is a real dark horse in the Arnold this year? Can I go first?
Wait, do you have a picture of like the flyer you can pull up?
Carter, look up the list of competitors for the Arnold 2026, please. Yeah, I have a dark horse, and
I know I had one, but I can't remember who all's in it again.
I think you not being in the show is very helpful to Andrew, because having you in Hadi, it kind of distracts away from Andrew.
Yeah.
Now it's just going to be a giant in the middle of everyone.
Yeah.
And he's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And I think he can win that. That's
a good point. I got to be honest with you, having Andrew and Samson competing at the Arnold this past year when I competed, I didn't know if that was going to help me or hurt me, because you have 2 tall guys and then myself. So I played my game plan, and we brought the conditioning and balance, and that's what won. So
So here it is, guys,
let's see here.
on the left.
Hadi, Tonio.
I think Brandon Curry does not get enough credit, man.
We
Sure.
agree. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Both shows last year, the Arnold and the Olympia.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a lineup, man. I mean, I'm looking at these names, and like I'm like, oh, Tonio looks good. And I'm like, Brandon doesn't get enough credit. I'm like, Akeem always looks crazy. I'm like, Rafael, there you go, representing Brazil. Hassan's a freak. Muhammad Fuda, he looks really good too. Anthony Williams, I want to give him a shout out. He's the one that won last year, right? The amateur.
Yeah.
That's great that he's doing it. You know, it's good that those guys come back and do the show,
Did
support
you
him.
see his new photos?
No, I don't know much about the guy, but I give him a lot of respect for coming in and doing this with this lineup.
So Dennis, who is your favorite? Dark horse.
Not my favorite, but my dog horse,
Dark horse, yeah.
Tonio Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tonio's coming up the ranks, ain't he?
Yeah. And also, I mean, I'm also I'm excited to see what Rafael is going to bring,
Yeah.
because it took
Yeah.
a long time off to put on the size, and I'm sure that he added some size for him to throw himself in the mix here with the Arnolds, and I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Last time he faced Tonio, he beat him.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But
he's
I
had
think
over a
Tonio-
year off,
Tonio-
right?
Yeah, but
Tonio-
that was the show that we complained that maybe Tonio could have won.
Yeah, Tonio beat
Yeah.
him in Brazil. Come on now. Come on. Thanks, Carter. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was Tonio's show. Anyways, I think that Tonio is a guy like Dexter in his time. That is not the biggest one, but he looks much bigger than when when you ask him how much he weighs, and then you see what he looks like. It looks like he's 20 pounds bigger than he actually weighs.
Yeah.
And I think that he just has to put the time in, and he's on his way to be up there and, to dealing with everybody. I think he's really, I from the back, he's one of the widest guys on stage. Tonio's real lat spread is unfucking believable.
He has
So
really
a
a
great shot.
really nice balanced physique. Really nice balanced
Yes.
physique. Yeah.
Yes,
Very
he's
much
always in
like
shape.
Dexter.
He's always in shape, and he's gradually getting bigger. So I think he is my dark horse for the Arnold. Maybe not to win, but to be in that top 4, if anybody's off.
Okay, you're 32 years old right now. You know that this is now your peak, 32 to like 38.
No, I don't agree with
Hey.
it. I think,
When was your peak in Jose?
well, there's different times. I think now bodybuilding, but yeah. In the 80s and 90s, I think, in your early 30s, that was your peak. I think now the peak is later. I think now you can
Later?
peak from 32 until 38.
So I said 32 to 38. That's
Oh,
what I
you said that?
That's
I'm
what-
sorry. I'm sorry.
Is this your 9th Olympia this past year?
So it was so it was my 9th Olympia and my 18th show.
Crazy.
Yeah.
9th Olympia before 32. I didn't even do my first pro show till I was 34.
Hold on.
I didn't even turn pro until I was 32.
Yeah, same as me.
Pro at 32, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I think
And I hit
what
my
he-
peak at
what he-
40, 41.
Yeah, what he achieved in his young years, man, is phenomenal.
It's nuts.
And I'm glad that it pays well now too. So now, not only does he have all the titles, he's making some good money.
Good
You know
times.
what
I definitely like it. Definitely, we've been blessed a lot in our bodybuilding community, especially this year. So I don't want to say what we're gonna do yet, but I definitely want to contribute back to the bodybuilding world and do something this year for this is for the athletes. Like I said, I don't want to overstep my boundaries here and speak too soon, but I've been talks with some people to like help sponsor some things this year for the bodybuilding community. So try to give some back to what's given to me.
Let's help to incentivize the posing routines. So maybe we can get some nice.
Well, that's one
posing
thing I want to
routines.
do. So between the NPC USAs and the Tampa Pro, I I'd like to help those two shows out because that's kind of part of my journey, winning the Mr. USA title and then doing the Tampa the next weekend. And so, my thought was if there was more shows that had the opportunity for guys to put together like a nice posing routine, here's the thing. There's guys that want to compete at these shows, right? And they want to do it because they love bodybuilding, but they know that they're not going to be competitive against like the lineup that we just mentioned, right? So if you got one of the top 5, top 10 guys from the Olympia that's competing at the show, some of these guys, they know they're not going to win, but they still love the sport. They want to compete. And so they're spending a lot of money to do these shows, right? And I just think it would be beneficial for our sport, and it would be nice for those guys that really work hard and may not win to be able to take home like a paycheck. So I like to do something, and I'm not gonna say exactly what it is, but I or how much or whatever, but I want to give back, man.
I was thinking about that, and I'm gonna say it now because Milos, I never spoke to him about it, but I was thinking about hitting up Milos, asking him for 5 G's to put 10,000 for the best poser of whatever category at any show. At whatever. Wait, let me finish. At whatever show. Let's say the Olympia, right?
He said
But
what?
now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Who decides who the best poser was? Let's say we put money up. He said, here's 10,000. Who decides who the best routine had? Who was the best posing routine? Is you going to be the one deciding it? Or is the federation the one deciding it? Or is the audience the one deciding it? Who decides?
That's a good point. Again, that's why I don't want to overstep my boundaries, but I would like to see this because like I said, man, listen, like I see some of these guys that come in incredible shape. The conditioning's out of this world, and we all know what it takes to get that inside out peeled look, right? It takes a lot. And then they end up placing like 10th in a show, in a pro show. And it's like, they probably knew that going into it, but at the same time, it's like, wouldn't it be nice to know that you could be rewarded if you put in that extra effort and put a nice posing routine together? Because
we 100% agree with you there. I mean, we've been talking about this for months.
Yeah, so maybe like a few of us could do that over the next couple of years and start doing it at different shows, and and working with the promoters.
Jose can put $5,000 in. Yeah, we can make it 20,000.
Oh, God. Okay. Here, whoa.
Dude, we could get to the point where everybody's doing a nice routine. How about that?
No, but that's a good point, man. Like, how do you judge it? Who judges it? Whatever. But I mean, that's something that I guess the promoter would have to discuss with the judges in the league. I don't know, but
you handed it out. You should decide.
Do you need to ask for permission if we say, listen, we want to put 10 grand down for the best poser?
I don't know how it works on that end, man.
I mean, we would run it by them, but I don't think anybody would care. And listen, if you want to, get these guys to start practicing routines, to start putting some effort into some moves, more power to him. It's like it's money,
I think so. I mean, I've had some conversations with some people, and they.
Milo's laughing. Milo's
why are you
bringing my name up?
If I open that can of worms again, it's confusion. What is posing around in the bodybuilding and what is best routine? It's completely two different things.
No.
And we could use that trophy right behind Milos right there.
That is why I said routine. I didn't say the best body on stage.
So routines should be judged as a routine, But back in the day when we had a symmetry, muscularity, and posing round, that was not a routine. That was a physique in that round. But anyway, I'm all for it, but not 5,000. Come on, why why 5? Anyway. Yeah. By the way, did we wish Jose happy birthday at the beginning? Because
we did on text. Remember?
Wait, what?
No. So let's.
It's
all right. Happy birthday, Jose! 51 years old and still look like a 14-year-old boy. Look at him.
Yeah. Thank you.
Happy birthday, man.
Thanks, brother.
One more thing, because I do want to learn something from you, Derek, as well, and have audience learn. I think I overheard you in one of the videos that you say you don't go past the failure now in off season. Do you go to the failure and past the failure normally when you train?
Um, Up until this year, yeah. This year, before this year, I was basically going till you kill me. Like I want to be dropped dead on the floor basically after my sets and after my workout. So yeah, I used to train like an absolute animal. And I noticed that backing it off just a little bit, like just before failure, was a lot more beneficial than trying to like push those extra reps at the end, especially when I'm in like a calorie deficit and I'm really close to a show where I'm already in shape and like I can't do too much. So yeah, I think, depending on where you're at, like if I'm like right now, I'm in an off season where I'm doing nothing but just trying to be healthy and whatever kind of like maintain, so to speak, I guess. Um, so my food's not crazy high and my recovery's not like at its best. So I'm not trying to push the reps and the volume in the gym. But whenever I start cranking things up, my recovery's better, I'm eating more, then I can definitely push past failure for sure. But then, like I said, it just depends on the phase. Like in a prep towards the end, no, I think it's better to kind of stop a little shy and recover, not beat it down.
Do you attribute that to you holding on to your leg size this year
Yeah.
much more?
I remember Aceto was like, all right, I want you to have like a 70% leg day. And he's like, wait. I mean 60% leg day today. Because he knows me. He's like, oh, 70%, that means like 90, 95. Okay, let's just go 100%. He goes, he wanted to make sure like on those days when my body was really vulnerable to eating itself away, right? That like, hey, back off. Like you don't need to kill yourself in the gym. So yeah, for sure. Like it was some assistance with Chris letting me know, take it easy, and then my team around me, like you know,
Okay.
telling me you're good.
Second
Did you
question.
cut the duration of time in the gym as well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like there'd be times that he's like, I want you done in like 50 minutes to an hour. That's it.
I know the answers to all these questions. That's why I'm asking.
No, that
I've
was
had
the
these
thing. Like
conversations with Chris.
it was, it's so weird to say because like I got in really good shape, especially for like the Arnold, right? But like I got in good shape all year and maintained really good shape with doing very minimal cardio and eating a ton of food and backing off the training just a little bit. It honestly was crazy to me. Like everything was just less and it worked out better.
Yeah.
On that note, you got in shape very quickly,
Mhm.
because I'm listening to, what is being said. Like he kept you up until 6 weeks out of Arnold, a little bit bigger, and then dialed you in 6 weeks, and then you're saying you didn't do that much cardio and you ate more food and all this. I mean, people don't get quickly in shape nowadays. So, what do
Well,
you,
he was not. I guess he wasn't
He
too
wasn't
far
out of
off
shape.
because he
Yeah.
stayed in shape.
yeah, never,
So
It,
coming
I'll,
from the
I'll be
Olympia,
honest with
I
you, man.
think,
Like
yeah, coming.
at 6 weeks out from the Arnold, granted, like this was the first time working with Chris, so I wasn't like exactly sure how it was gonna pan out. 6 weeks out from the Arnold, like I was telling my friend Matt Grego, who works with Chris, I said, man, what do you think, dude? Because like I feel like we need to hit the gas like now. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be ready. Like I feel like this is like a 12-week outlook and not a 6 weeks outlook. Like this is not normal to me, Which, granted, in the past, I was always getting ready at like 6 to 8 weeks out, right? So for me, yeah, the timeline made sense. But he's like, just trust him, just trust him. But like, yeah, at 6 weeks out from the Arnold, I was like, man, we need to get going here. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I can't come in out of shape. Like we gotta go. And then that was my best conditioning to date.
so in 6 weeks, I mean, you don't have a secret. So I see you putting, videos on your
Yeah.
YouTube, very detailed. So how that happened? Like you kept the protein high, cut the carbs and fats low. I know that Chris Aceto is low with fats, right?
You know, I actually kept in a good amount of fat. Well, for the Arnold, I think I just maybe had like one red meat meal first thing in the morning, and then the rest was low fat all day. Um, but like for the Arnold, like, or I mean, for the Olympia, I think I had two. I think it was two fat meals a day, which for me, like normally it's zero fat, like, white fish, shrimp, or chicken. Like that's it. No red meat, no salmon, no nothing, no added fats. So for me this year, yeah, it was more fat, a lot more carbs, a lot more carbs. Um, but I think he just knew by the time we were 6 weeks out that he already knew my body. And I think he was like, all right, we're gonna crank up the cardio, which we did for a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. We cranked up the cardio pretty intense,
To what?
and then a couple weeks out, he's like, "All right, cut it back," and then week out or whatever, you're like, "You're done." Like, okay.
So Dennis used to do like hour and a half, 2 hours cardio. You think crack up the cardio. How much did you do then?
So
Overall?
previously, in previous years, I was doing an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, and pretty intense cardio at that. But this year, it was like maybe up to like 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's it.
At the
So
most.
you,
I
so
mean,
you cranked it up to 50 minutes when he said, let's go.
like that was like the top of probably like
Yeah.
45, 50 minutes. Otherwise, it was like 30, or there'd be times where he wouldn't let me. When I say wouldn't let me do cardio, I like to do fasted cardio in the morning. Like I feel better doing just a 20-minute walk or a 30-minute walk. And he would say, absolutely zero, none. You get to do none.
Yeah. So, but
So,
now you know that this is what kept your legs alive,
yeah.
but
And
by
then
not.
and then of course, like I love to train crazy. Like if you ever saw the videos of like me and Hadi training together, that was nuts, man. Like I used to love to train just like a savage, like just kill me. I wanna do crazy workouts that nobody else wants to do, but I realize nobody else is doing them because there's a time and place where it may eat up the muscle. And that's kind of like what was happening every year. Was like the last 3 or 4 weeks, my body would just kind of break down more. And then this year, he's like, no, we got to keep it alive. You need to do less volume in your training, in and out of the gym, within like an hour. No cardio, like on leg days, for example. And some days, like my rest days, he would joke. He would say, "Tell your wife 7 hours, remote in hand on the recliner." you know. So
Your
yeah.
left hand.
Yeah. So it was just good, man. Like he has a good personality too, like Milos. I'm sure like all the people you work with, man, like you guys are almost friends,
Yeah, not almost. It's
Yeah.
exclusively friends. I mean, you gotta love people that you work with,
Yeah.
and it goes much
You
more
can't
than
love everybody like.
yeah. Listen, you're talking to the
Well,
gods. You're
but this
supposed
is
to
the
love
thing.
everybody,
But you talk about the
There's
people
that.
you work closely with, and I'm not. We talking about the online people that people online. You don't even know who they are.
No, no, I don't do this kind of online. I
Oh, you
do.
don't do online at all?
I just do one-on-one. It's not that group thing and
No, no,
general.
no. I'm not talking about a group thing, but you have online clients that you
Yeah.
never know in person.
Well, I mean, you know so much about them because week to week,
Well, you know what
you're
they used to
basically
do.
living with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know how my plans are. I ask you when you wake up, when you go to sleep, when you work, when you train, and then I don't just give them meal 1, 2, 3. I give them a time.
Mhm.
So a little bit more. But anyway, Derek, I mean, so I don't think you answered that question because I'm trying to think what was the answer. Where did confidence come from? We all competed. I mean, Dennis, did you ever think you're going to win Mr. Olympia, Dennis?
Uh, no,
No, me neither, of course.
maybe not winning,
Milos,
but I had a phase where I thought that I could get
he was
good
also a
enough to
wrestler.
possibly win it. Yeah, I did.
He,
At one point, I knew I was like, especially in the beginning when I turned pro, I was like, yeah, maybe I can, But I never trained thinking that I'm fighting Ronnie Coleman for 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? That never happened.
Jose,
But
did you?
but in his
Did I
case,
what?
you ask him where does his confidence come from? He won the 212 Olympia. He already won the Open Olympia 2 years ago. How much more confidence and motivation do you need?
No,
He
no, no.
know he did it before. He know he can't do it again.
Okay. 2022, going to your first Open Olympia. What were your expectations?
Listen,
Realistically, man, I mean, you gotta believe to some degree, like I can be the best. But that year, I thought to myself, man, if I can be top three, that is a tremendous victory for me. Like I remember going into it and I was like, okay, I really know I can be top five. I know I could be top five for sure. I have to bring it, but like if I get anything outside of the top five, I think it's going to be a little bit of a disappointment for me, if I'm honest with you. And then I thought, but if I really had my way, like if I really like come in and like crush it, I said, I think I can be top three. And I remember saying that in an interview one time. And I said, like before the show, I said, I think I could be top three. And, you know, top three, anything can happen, man. So I end up placing second, which in all reality, man, like I think everybody had Rami winning going into that show because he was a two-time Mr. Olympia. And then Hadi was knocking on the door. So in my opinion, I at that time, I had thought most likely it was going to be Rami, Hadi, and then me. And then Rami ended up placing fifth, and Hadi got set first, so that put me in second. So my mindset was right. I was right in line with what I thought I could do, but you know Rami had slipped placings, and so that kind of left the door open. So that
I
was
think the confidence also came from the guest posing in Pittsburgh. When you
yeah,
basically introduced yourself, that was all the confidence and motivation that you need
yeah,
to switch to the Open because it wasn't even 100. They
yeah,
didn't announce it at that time.
yeah,
You know, he stood on that stage, shocked the fuck out of me and everybody else who was there. I was actually there for Rami, but he's the one that didn't show up.
yeah.
So, and Derek shocked the world and made notice and let everybody know. I said, listen, if I switch, you know, you're all in trouble. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's me saying that, not you.
You know what's crazy though, man, is even at that moment afterwards, I still thought I was going to compete in the 212. I really did.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily want to. I remember talking to Hani at the time and I said, "So now open, you know, like I want to go open." He's like, "No, don't." He told me he said, "Don't buy into the hype."
Yeah.
So then what happened? How did you end up doing it?
Yeah.
Uh I honestly don't remember like the conversations with Hani like
Was it his
I,
decision or your decision?
okay, so at that time I was really just putting all my trust in what he was telling me, like basically here you take the reins, you tell me, like I'll follow you whatever you think and say, you know. And so when he told me don't buy into the hype, I mean I really had it in my head like I'm gonna diet down to the 212 and defend my title. And like I didn't want to. I really thought that my best physique in the 212 was just presented that year, and I didn't think I was going to really improve from that previous year, which was really disappointing. As a bodybuilder, you want to keep getting better, but I was like, I just don't know how I can get better than what I just did. So I thought I'd have to wait like another year or something, but I don't know what happened after the guest posing. Um, I remember I remember I went on a fishing trip. It's still on my YouTube channel. There's a YouTube video of me going fishing with my wife and friends, and I ended up getting sun poisoning. And then I went to a water park the next week like an idiot, and I got a skin infection. And so I had this skin infection for like 3 months, and it scarred my legs for a while. Like my legs, even when they healed, was still like scarred from the sunburns and all that, and the bacteria infection. And so I had to go to dermatologist. I had to get like antibiotics and all this different stuff for it. And by this time, we're like, I think like 14 to 16 weeks out, maybe. Don't quote me on that, but like at this point, we're having to decide like, Like, are we going open? Are we going 212? What's the deal here? And I think Hani said something like, if you want to go open, like you need to send a formal request or something to the IFBB Pro League to request that you wanted to go open at the Mr Olympia. So I put a formal
but you weren't
request.
qualified, right?
Well, I was qualified because I had won the 212 for the 212.
But you're not for the open. So you got to basically, did you get a special invite?
So yeah, you have to send a formal request to the IFBB Pro League to get a special invitation. So, because you got to remember, back then, like we had special invites like almost every year. Like I think Kai Green got one, Rami got one. I think there was a couple others. Maybe Cedric got one.
I don't know if Kai Green got. I mean, they offered it to him, and Rami got it because he ended up with COVID and couldn't do the show in Spain.
Right.
And before that, there was no more invitations. Oh,
Cedric McMillan.
Cedric, yes, Cedric.
So like there was like a string of them for like a couple of years. So we're like, well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to send a formal request in. And so we sent the formal request in, and they said, you know, basically, yeah, you can compete in the open. And honestly, man, listen, at that time, I know it's me and everybody has their opinion, but I thought it was deemed worthy as well, because I tried to take myself out of it. I tried to say, like, if I was a fan, would I want to see the 212 champion going to the open the next year? Like, sure, I think if anybody wants to cross over divisions and they're an Olympia champion, just let them do that. Like, that's exciting, you know? And I remember having been asked before about Kai Green and Rami. I was like, sure, like we want the best in the world at this show. So let them compete, you know? So I don't know, man. Like that's a difference of opinions with different people. Should you qualify? Should you not? Depending on who, whatever. Like that's difference of opinions. But you know, I got the special invitation nonetheless, and I competed and I went for it. You know.
Yeah, and prove to the world that it was worthy. You know, you got second the first year, won the next year. And listen, the worst placing at the Olympia was basically 2024 in third place. How many people can say that? Oh my shit! I'm pissed. I got third.
Yeah, I wasn't so much pissed as I was just upset. Like, dang it, because you gotta imagine
the
like
same category. It's all in the same category.
You gotta imagine, man. Like nobody besides Jay Cutler has ever lost a title and got it back. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, I'm like 31 years old. I've won the Olympia, but like, is my career over? Like, what just happened? Like, it was gone like this. And I'm like, no. Like, this is not how it ends, man. Like, this cannot be how it ends. And so I just trusted, and I told you, like, my faith is strong. I just believe that, like, hey, God didn't want me to have it at this time. So he was protecting me and preparing me. That's the way I believed. He was protecting me from something and preparing me for another thing. Well, now that 2025 is done, I think we can all see what he was preparing me for.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what God is preparing me for right now for my breakfast, because I didn't have none. I appreciate you guys. Champ, thank you for making the time, man. Jose, I appreciate you. Milos. I love you as always. You guys be safe. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys when I'm back in the US. It's going to take a little more time.
All right.
I'm staying
God
here
bless
for a little longer. You guys be safe. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah.